is the Glass Cannon Network.
It's time to play the game. It's time to play Blades in the Dark. Baby wanna play Blades in the Dark.
No. No.
Where? Baby wants to play.
Oh, God.
That sound you hear is people across the world hurling their laptops across the room.
I just try to do the thing that's gonna get a reaction out of you guys.
Oh my God.
Baby wants to play the game. Wah!
Jesus.
You can't. If you're watching on Twitch, you can't see below my chest here, but I'm wearing a full diaper right now.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. It's a good look.
No one needs to envision that.
Oh, it's fantastic look.
And now I inevitably am.
Yeah, think about it. Think about it. Everyone think about it.
God, the people at home don't realize that before this, we were having some really kind of deep and nuanced discussions about our lives, the state of our industry, etc. And then it's like, okay, ready to go, camera rolling, and then Jared comes in hot with, "Wah, daddy want to play, baby want the bottle."
But I'm laughing and that feels good. You guys might not be, but I am, and it feels really good. Welcome to Haunted City. This is a show where we play Blades in the Dark, the incredible game by John Harper and Evil Hat. Please go and buy a copy and play it because it's the best role-playing game. You know what? I've been saying in the last 20 years, but now I'm just going to say of all time. I should have been saying of all time for a while, but there you go. We're so happy that you've joined us again. You probably know. I don't know why I always announce what we do here, because if you're watching episode 12 of the second season, I hope that you know what's going on already. Otherwise, you're going to be really lost. But if you are new, welcome. I have my incredible cast with me. These people are just really, really talented actors, improvisers, game players, but they're also, can I just say, they're also good people. They would never lie to you. They would help someone in need if that person was hurt or if they needed money, like say if a friend needed just a couple $100 to get him through to Jared. Next month. What?
Go on. Yes.
If someone needed a couple $100 to get through to next month, if that person had kids and a mortgage and needed just a couple hundo, that by the way could be divided by all three of these actors. So one of them wouldn't have to bear the entire burden of the loan.
Yeah.
These actors would give it to that person.
I'm glad you've thrown that in the mix, Jared. I need to ask you guys for $100 if you can. I mean, I know Ross, Josephine, it might be hard on you guys. So Jared, I'm looking at you, my man. If you could maybe front most of the costs, that'd be great.
Well, let's see, $100, so that's $33 UK.
I was gonna say, how many pounds are you getting from that?
I don't know, man. With the state of affairs over here, I think the dollar's strong out here, man.
Yeah.
No. Okay, strong is probably not the right word. It's okay.
Anyway, I just want to say it's Salim, Josephine, McAdam, and Ross Bryant. I just want to say your names.
Thanks.
And Abu, I'm going to Venmo you, man.
Oh, okay. Cheers, man. Thanks.
I was like, wow, there's no way. Did you see the skepticism on all of our faces when you started complimenting us?
Yeah.
There's no way that this is where this is ending.
When you started to compliment us,
someone's dying or we're asking for money. So it's that's it.
This came in hot with the sales pitch, but just with the the compliments, you found maybe the only other thing that could make us more uncomfortable than you imitating a big baby. Is you calling us good people who are kind and have good souls.
know, right?
Now you're challenging me. So what I can do is just every time we play, try to find something that will make you even more uncomfortable. You know,
Right. Fantastic. I'm so looking forward to this.
Well, actually, instead of me having to guess, which would be really tough, why don't we all talk about things that really make us cringe as sort of a we could do it as sort of like an ice-breaking conversation at the beginning of the show before we start playing the game. So it could be like kind of like so that we can have like some funny banter before we start actually playing.
God damn it, Jared! You've already been doing this for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What's wrong? Okay, so
You see
now,
this
come
as
on.
though
How
you're
many
not
times-
constantly devising ways of...
Exactly. Could we find, it would probably be a shorter time finding the amount of episodes where we didn't cringe immediately in the first 2 seconds of the game.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess what I'm saying is my fuel tanks are empty and I need more ideas. And, it's Blades in the Dark where the players get to provide as many ideas as the GM. So you have to provide ideas for ways to make you uncomfortable. Joe, what is something that makes you cringe that you see people do or that you see out in the world and it really makes you like go like, oh, don't.
Oh, well, you can't really do this in this format. Maybe you might challenge me in this, but okay, I feel bad saying this because I'm sure many people have done it, but when people use GIFs of themselves in a reaction.
Oh, people do that?
People do that? What the fuck?
Oh, so many people do that. Are you kidding?
I've never logged onto the World Wide Web because I'm afraid someone's going to steal my identity. But I hear that people do GIFs on there. And you say they do GIFs
Yes.
of their own
Of
face?
themselves.
No. GIFs exist of them out there and they are using them in response, like as they're responding to stuff. And it's like, I always find that a little, I don't know, there's something strange and
Are these famous
cringy
people?
about it to me.
Are these
Yeah,
famous
or
people?
whoever, or
Then
like
we can say who it is. Who the fuck did that?
No, not like that. I mean, like all of us have GIFs out there of ourselves.
Yeah, but
Oh, I guess so.
That's what I mean.
I know.
Yeah.
And so if
Right.
you
I thought
started
you
like
mean,
Jared,
people who actually create it,
no, take
for
the time. Well, I'm sure
themselves.
some people do.
Wow.
I
But
only
Jared,
use-
if you responded to everything online, like with a GIF of yourself,
that'd be great.
right? That's what I mean.
I think that's
I mean,
fantastic.
this is great. So now, okay. So if people have gifts of me, could you please send them to me? Jared Logan at glasscannon.com, glasscannonnetwork.com, and I will just fill the Discord with them every time I respond to something.
Great.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Great. Okay, that's a great idea, Joe. Thank you. All right. Abu,
Great.
something that really makes you cringe.
Oh man, it's hard because it really is. It's difficult to make me. What would make me cringe? Could you come back to me? Because I find
you might just be a really tolerant. You might just be
That's
a
the
really
thing.
tolerant guy.
I think I've seen a lot of shit, man. You know.
Yeah.
You don't
Okay,
even like
nothing-
cringe internally?
I think the only cringe I have is like either through my own actions or my own silliness.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to seeing things, like there's, as I said, I always find ways of sort of adapting. Like as I say, like the Kardashians, they're aliens, right?
Oh,
Right.
I thought you were
So,
saying you're like the Kardashians.
I'm like the Kardashians. I'm soulless and have no kind of But this is the thing. Like I just find ways of come back to me. I'll think about it.
I think, okay, no problem. I'll come back to you. Ross, do you have something that makes you cringe?
I like to think that I'm as tolerant as Abu, walking through life saintly and unaffected. But I feel like what we're saying are maybe variations on the same theme, which is the things that are most likely to make us cringe are truly the things that you're most afraid you do. When you see qualities that you are afraid you maybe exhibit or can tend to exhibit reflected back at you, cringe thyself, or something. And so, like, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm answering maybe a joke question too sincerely.
No. Sincerely is good. We can be sincere. I'm always pretty. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know, man. I fear, I think, as somebody who is like who dwells in this sort of like performance world, when I cringe when I see people who are maybe a little too desperate for attention, and I think the reason I do that is not necessarily me judging them terribly harshly or seeing them as like oh, shame on you, but more it teases out a part of me or points the finger at the part of me that is infected with the poison that needs the approval of strangers. And,
right.
And that's my little cringy cross to bear.
Yeah. Which, like, on the other hand, it doesn't bother me when I see like people looking for attention because, you know, I go on the internet and perform 4 times a week just for me. I don't do it for other people, you know, like I do it to make myself.
Wow.
I guess I learned a long time ago, you have to please yourself first.
Yeah. And yeah.
And so
I mean, what are we all doing here? We're all doing this in some level to gratify ourselves.
Yeah, no,
okay.
I guess.
Okay. I should, like, Abu,
Yeah.
you have to tell me that you weren't, like, were you not cringing when Jared dropped his Gen Z dialogue for like a full 3 minutes?
No, man. I thought it was pretty funny.
Well,
wow.
it can be funny and
Joe.
cringe.
You know what? Actually,
Wow,
you know
I
what?
guess you were alone in that.
It can be funny and cringe.
Hear me out. Right? Okay, look. The thing is, right? You kind of the way I look at it, right, is like this. Basically, some people out there don't have food, you know. So why do I need to cringe at like Jared being? You know what actually makes me cringe?
No. I get it, Abu. What you're saying is when you see someone starving, you cringe.
Yeah, that's it, right? That's you know what I'm saying. Like,
So what makes you cringe is like the suffering of your fellow man.
Is essentially poor people.
Yeah, poor people. Got it. Okay.
No, wait,
Thank you. Thank you for answering.
I don't want to stop there. I actually realized what makes me cringe is people who sing at you. So like you have a conversation with someone, right? And then they just start like singing at you. Like I've had this several times before, right? And
What?
it can be many. Like it's actors mainly. Oh my god! Actually, you know what? This is the moment that I cringed. Oh fuck! Okay, now I remember it. Shit, now it really hurts. See, this is the thing. I don't cringe at many things, but when I do, it's almost like I convulse. So I was at drama school, and I think Les Mis, the film, had just come out. And essentially, you know, drama school, this is where all the actors are who go to train to be actors. Anyway, Les Mis had just come out and they started everyone just started singing, "Can you hear the people sing the song of angry men?" And they started turning the common room, which we were sitting, into barricades. And I remember just watching this and I'm like, who are these people fighting against? You know, most of these people, right? And look, Again, I know no problem with people at drama school who go to drama school, but they probably haven't fought in their lives. Like, you know, I'm looking at them and I'm saying to myself, your dad's probably rich as fuck. Your dad's an actor. Your dad's, you know, and I'm just thinking to myself, who the fuck are you fighting? What are you barricading from? Anyway, so that was the time when I really cringed.
Musical theater nerds can make you cringe just about every,
But this is the thing,
5 minutes.
They weren't even musical theater. Like when you see musical theater, yeah, okay, sometimes it can be a bit too much. But sometimes when you hear their voice, you're like, wow, these are just actors. Actors who think they can sing. And when they start singing, it's almost like, fuck, you love the sound of your own voice.
You know, I would just want to say what. Oh, go ahead, Joe, and then I have.
Okay.
I want to share what makes me cringe.
Well, I think I'm misunderstood. You know, you guys, I feel like your cringe is much worse in your minds than what I'm envisioning, because I cringe like, you know, whenever my dad makes a punny joke, and like I feel like, don't we all? You know, so like it's not like the cringe still has love. Every time I cringe when Jared speaks, it's still with admiration.
Right.
And enjoyment.
Right. No, cringe is often go hand in hand with admiration. Yeah. Thank you for that very equitable answer, add-on. I'll just share what makes me cringe. It's like when you are a player in a role-playing game and the GM does like some sort of like long dramatic monologue. 1,000 years ago, this was a land of beauty and magic. Then came the cataclysm that blotted out the sun and ripped open the gates to the land of the dead. The city of Duskvol is a metropolis of tenements and factories surrounded by crackling lightning barriers. 1,000 miles away is the island of Severos, a windswept plain of ghosts and ruins. Outside the city of Irondale is a wasteland of the ravening undead. Inside the city is a colonial cesspit of oppression and corruption. Life is cheap in another city ruled by death. The sun is gone. The only thing that shines in Irondale are the blades in the dark. Yay!
Yeah.
Baby wants to play. Okay.
You know, you sounded like Christopher Walken for a second there. I don't know where it was. I can't remember, but I was like, oh, wow, we're going Christopher Walken there.
It was probably when my brain malfunctioned. I was suddenly like, oh.
1,000 years ago.
1,000 years ago, 2 mice fell into a bucket of cream. Okay. So here we are. We are back in the middle of a downtime phase for our scoundrels. In our last episode, our scoundrels finished a score capturing the deranged scientist Fabio Boltzmann and bringing him to the justice of the Bear Tongue Warband, a group of Severosi nomadic warriors. After doing that, they made good on some debts to, for example, a Hull named Isaac and his sister Agatha, whom helped them in the score. They also, found out that there is someone in Irondale who is looking for them, someone who came in on a noble's ship from Duskvol, probably, or Akaros at least. And that information was given to them by a local informant named Keela. In addition, our friend Alden Sykes found himself burdened with spirits that were weighing on him, battering away at his psyche, and so he had to acquire an asset and go to a whisper. They're no longer being a whisper in the Remnant crew. He had to go to a whisper who removed those spirits from his aura. Also, our friend Valkos decided to indulge his vice by contacting spirits. That's what Valkos does. And Valkos met a very interesting spirit, an old shamanic man that was of Severos, a native of Severos. And they exchanged some interesting words. We are in the middle of our downtime. We had done payout. We had done heat. We had done entanglements. But we had not done XP. So we should do XP.
Bam.
Oh, yeah.
I see what you've done. You're waiting for us to do XP now that we can't remember the exact details of all the stuff we did to get XP.
I remember. I made a chart here, so it's okay.
You made a chart?
Absolutely.
I promise.
Okay.
I promise that was not my intent. I will say, I just forgot to do XP last time, and also I wanted to get more gameplay in for the end of the show instead of bookkeeping, but the bookkeeping is always interesting.
You're right.
The bookkeeping is always interesting. It's just not quite as interesting as Valkos meeting his new ghost mentor. So let's do this. Let's talk about individual XP. Let's start with Alden Sykes, who stressed out and gained a trauma last time. And let's see if we can bring up his sheet here. You are a slide, right?
That's right.
And I don't see any desperate actions recorded for the Fabio Boltzmann score.
I don't have any recorded. I don't think. I mean, it seems crazy considering how desperate that score was. But I've been good at that in the past. I must not have had any. I think maybe everything was just shy of desperate.
It's possible. Now, a viewer or a listener might go back and find that there was a desperate action. And if they do, please email us or tell us on the Discord, and we will give our friend Alden a desperate action XP. All right, let's look at your playbook advancement. Did you address a challenge with deception or influence?
Absolutely, I did.
Absolutely.
I think I did it many times.
Absolutely, I 100% agree. So take one for that. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. This is the one I'm not sure about.
My beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I mean, I worked with my background as a spy, playing both sides of the colonial conflict here. Helped with our the flashback I had, gaining assistance both from representatives of the Severosi Warband and the assistance of Isaac, the Hull, who helped us out in a pinch.
You also didn't want us to leave the specimens, whatever, behind.
Yeah, I guess that's
that has more to do with the next XP trigger. Well-reasoned, but it'll do the next XP trigger. I'm going to give you beliefs, drives, heritage. Go ahead and take one for that.
And because I'd used so much deception, could I get 2 for that first one? Since it does. Okay.
No, I say
for the first one.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Really?
Well, hey, look, you are a slide. You know, it's like I can't just because you deceive 3 times doesn't mean I can go 3 XP. You know,
the playbook says, or instead mark 2 XP if the item occurred multiple times.
Ross, baby says no. Okay. The final XP trigger though, you struggle with issues.
Give it up to the boss, baby.
Boss, baby. All right. You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. Now, not only did you portray soft very well, you added a trauma.
That's right.
You can't say that you didn't.
That's true.
You didn't show your traumas. So go ahead and take 2 for that.
Okay. There we go.
See what a generous person I am?
Yes.
Everybody?
Your beneficence knows no bounds, oh great boss baby.
Look, you guys already have like 7 special abilities apiece, so
but Alden,
not me, man.
Just joined us.
Hey, I'm doing okay.
It'll mean more if you earn it, Ross. All right.
Tough but fair, pop.
Okay.
I apologize for being a jerk today. Okay, so let's go with Juliette Belrose. The only person.
Yes.
No. Okay, here we go. Juliette Belrose, I see some desperate actions recorded here in Insight and Prowess. Would you like to keep them in their respective attributes or move them to your main XP tracker?
I'm moving them to my main XP tracker, so I'm going to put 2 in there.
That sounds right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so putting 2 in there, and I'll take out those ones. Okay.
You addressed a challenge with technical skill or mayhem. You always do, and so I will let you have 1 for that.
Okay, but why just 1?
Because we are, here's the other thing. Partly the mood I'm in today, but also we are a little farther along in the game, and I think I need to make it a little harder to earn XP. So listen, just
You're
like
revising that rule.
A little bit. I mean, we've moved
Okay.
to an entire other continent. Maybe XP works differently at this latitude. The point is that I think that, you know, if you use technical expertise or mayhem, great. If you use it 3 or 4 times, great. But I don't think that that necessarily warrants 2 XP. Now, let me say, if your technical skill or mayhem had somehow been integral to the entire score, the plot of it in some way, meaning, like, say you created a big bomb or something, then we might talk about some 2 XP for that. Is everybody mad at me?
Fine.
Okay, everybody is, but here we go, moving on. You take 1 for technical skill or mayhem. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. How and did you do that? If you did.
Here is how I'm going to... I can't remember the exact details, but I remember because it has to do with something I'm going to do in downtime. I know that it came up during the scores that when we were escaping, something about my academic background and the idea that I could figure out a solution for the people that were in the cages was kind of what was holding me back from just letting them take over whoever we were working with, the Bear Tongue Warband. They said they were going to clear it out, and I did not feel great about that because I thought that there was something that could be researched there, and I promise you I'm going to follow up on that note.
If you promise me you're going to follow up on that,
Yeah.
I'll let you take this XP.
Okay.
Okay. And then finally, you struggled with issues from your vice or traumas.
I don't have any trauma. I'm trauma-free, surprisingly.
Yeah. Oh, you still are trauma-free?
Yeah.
Well, you know, you can play it different ways, you know? I mean, there's also, like, I feel like we still don't use the mechanic where you can resist as much as we possibly could, you know? Or, you know, I mean, you are careful not to stress yourself all the way out often, which I think is, you know, there's no wrong way to play it. So,
Yeah.
but then you perhaps don't grab that XP, right?
Yep.
Okay, so very good. And that is Juliet. And now let's talk to Valkos. Okay. My friend, what desperate actions did you record?
A whole lot of
Prowess. In fact,
yeah,
now we have a full bar of prowess.
we do.
Oh.
Are we putting it into another dot?
So I think I if I remember correctly, it was 3 desperate actions, right? Or was it 2? I'm looking back now.
It could possibly be 3.
I think it was
I'm not
3.
sure.
I think it was 3 because I ended up critting on one of them, right? And got and that was where anyway, point is, let's just say 3. I'm going to put them in my playbook advancement because that's what I do. So that knocks a 3 there, and then that puts 1, 2, 3 there. Okay.
Oh, and he's about to fill up his playbook, I bet.
Ooh.
You addressed a challenge with violence or coercion. Definitely. Take one of those.
Thank you.
You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. Remember, we're just talking about the score, not... But
So, I think I think the way I did, and there's a few ways, but I think the one thing that I did was the pulling out the Severosi blade that says "Mercy does not bloom." It's a rare flower that blooms in the Deathlands.
There were a couple really great, you know, kind of Severosi phrases thrown about last time. In fact, by coming to Severos, you've basically guaranteed Abu more XP. Very good. Go ahead and take a XP for that.
Amazing.
Your playbook is filled. Let's go ahead and clear your XP and just remember that you have a special ability coming to you.
Okay.
And then let's talk about you struggled with issues from your vice or trauma during the session. I don't know that you did that.
I don't think I did.
I don't think you did that. Okay, great. So you have a special ability coming. Why don't I let you kind of think about what that'll be?
Yeah.
And when we come around to your second downtime activity, or maybe you get 3, then you can tell us what that special ability will be. I'll let you kind of think about that for a minute, because let us return to the Steel Hoof, your current headquarters, the tavern owned by Alden Sykes, and let us put our characters in this sort of home-based sort of setting, and let us talk to Juliette Belrose. Juliette Belrose, you have not yet taken a downtime activity. Let me just review very quickly. Alden's first downtime activity was acquiring the services of a whisper, whom removed the unquiet dead entanglement from him. Then we went to Valkos for his first downtime activity. It was indulging vice. So now we can talk to Juliette. And Juliette, you can either do a downtime activity or take some sort of free play action that will, forward the plot or help you find your next score.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this falls into specifically, but to follow up on my promise and the note that I left for myself, I would love to be able to go back to that camp and grab, a probably not a full specimen, but a sample of of what's going on with the caged creature.
Oh, you want to go back to the Bear Tongue Warband?
I want to go back before it gets cleared out to get a sample and figure out what was happening to them.
Okay.
To study later, in my lab.
That seems like a free action, right? It seems like a free play action,
Is
not
it? Okay.
a down. I don't see how it would be a downtime activity necessarily. So here's what I'll say. You leave after the warband. You go back and you do a little business here in Irondale, and then you head out. Do you head out on your own? Do you take anybody with you?
I think I try to head out on my own because I don't think I tried to sort of hint at it earlier, and I think I was met with some resistance from Valkos on interrupting here, so I'm gonna go on my own.
Okay. You arrive at the fortress of Fabio Boltzmann, and you find that it is in disarray. The doors hang open, and when you get inside the courtyard, you see that the pens, the building that acted as sort of a stable for these creatures, or a prison rather for these creatures, is completely, the door has been ripped off. The bodies of Bear Tongue Warband members lay on the ground, dead, clawed, their throats ripped out. Going inside the complex. Do you go inside the complex?
Yeah, I want to try and find some sort of sample if I can.
Yeah. Going inside the complex, you find lots of Bear Tongue Warband members killed, ripped up, slashed, bitten. You also find the body of one or two mutants.
Okay.
And they are mutants because they still have some animal features, but according to Alden's description of them, they look like, as you're watching them, that they are sort of returning to human form in their death.
Oh.
You have Ghost Mind, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you, if you look in your ghost vision, you see that the animating spirits that possess them are gone. There's maybe just kind of a couple strands, what do they call it? The silver cord between them and whatever spirit was inhabiting them is very thin. And as you watch, one breaks away and the snout of the creature starts to shrink back into a human nose.
Okay. Before one does, I'm gonna grab a syringe and get a blood sample.
Very good. You're getting a blood sample, and you hear from a cell in the back. You hear.
Oh, okay. I will take that blood sample. And is the ones that are on the ground? Do they still have a collar on them?
Yeah, they all have collars on them. However, I believe that the item that was controlling the collars got thrown or tossed aside, right?
Yeah.
I will say that you notice that someone has pulled a lever that opened all of the cell doors.
Okay.
And the cell door in the back that the sound is coming from is wide open.
Is open. Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm going to take one of the collars off if I can to take back with me, as well as this blood sample. And I'd like to try and, I guess, look at where the sound is coming from, but I'd like to be careful about it and hide as well.
Okay. You look into the cell and you see a small humanoid that has sort of a simian cast to its body and features. It looks monkey-like, and it looks to be cowering in the corner and going,
I call you Caesar.
I am, oh gosh, okay, so I am going to ready, like, standstill poison if I need it. And I'm going to try and approach and see if they are aggressive or not.
Okay.
Try to approach in a very, like, slow demeanor to look peaceful if I can.
Okay. And now here's where a action roll is necessary. How are you going to get close and put this thing at ease enough, this person at ease enough to...
I'm going to use sway here.
Okay.
And to try and persuade them that I am not here to hurt them. I want to help you. I'm here to help. I'm sure that I can. Please, just let me get a little bit closer.
Okay. Give me that sway roll, and I'm going to call it risky for standard effect.
A 6?
A 6.
Ooh.
The humanoid seems at ease, does not feel that you are threatening it, and it actually it is a he kind of sidles up and sniffs you, and then kind of backs off again, and then sidles up to you and sniffs you again, and then kind of like puts its hand forward to kind of take your hand.
Okay. We have to be very careful. They will not want to let you continue, but I will keep you safe. I will try to help you, but we must go carefully, hidden. I'm gonna grab like whatever large cloak I can find of someone nearby, maybe one of the body, if there's something to really cover him. And I'll take out some trance powder and say, this will make you feel a little bit better. To sort of like put near under his nose. It's just inhalable powder.
He kind of tastes it.
That's
And then he takes a big pile of it and rubs it on his tongue.
Yeah.
And then he goes,
yeah. Okay, great. It's supposed to just sort of bliss them out. So, I would like to attempt to sneak this guy back to a lab.
You want to take him all the way back to Irondale?
What are other options? Do we have other places?
You can, but I think it's hilarious that you just tranced him out and made him essentially immobile. So
no, he's not immobile. Like trance powder doesn't immobilize them. It just puts you in like a sort of like it chills you out. It's a drug, like.
Right, it's not standstill poison. It's trance powder.
No. Yeah.
I think that you getting him back while he is tripping on trance powder is extremely difficult. Tell me what action you do to do that.
Okay. I was hoping it would make it
'Cause
easier so he wouldn't be like,
You have to
doing
cross.
things.
You have to cross miles on foot, and he keeps wandering off and like eating grass, and like he keeps like taking things out of your pack and breaking things.
Oh, God.
So
Okay.
how what do you do?
You know what? In that case, if it's really going to make things difficult, I will apply multiple alchemicals here while he's blissed out. I may just do some. Oh man, I need him to trust me though.
Well, he does already trust you.
He does trust me. Okay, so I'm gonna say like, this will help us get through, and I want to give him standstill poison and then drift oil on him so I can just drag him back. It's a little buoyant little.
Wow,
entity.
I'm so glad that he has been delivered into your way more humanitarian hands.
I'm going to help him in the name of science.
You have reached the border of the city that is patrolled by the Silvernails, and their huge stallions are stomping about on the perimeter of the city, each one carrying an armored warrior with a long spear. You have a floating simian tethered to you.
Hold on.
You have a floating simian creature
Look,
tethered to you.
Oh, this is
he's
so great.
buoyant, which means I'm keeping him at my side. It's not like he's not. He doesn't float away if I let go.
balloon.
What
He's
action
just-
roll? What action roll do you use to get back into the city, past the Silvernail guards?
I use.
Remember, you can use any action. You just
Yeah.
have to justify it.
I use Tinker because I'm going to set off.
You inject more drugs?
No, I'm going to set off an explosion down the way that pulls their attention.
Oh my god. Just to get back into the city? This is desperate for great effect. They will go to the explosion. I mean, these players, if I was like, your character needs to mail a letter, Josephine would be like, I put poison into everybody at the post office and then send a missile launcher into the post box.
Oh my god.
No, wait, but we're on the outskirts, right? I'm not trying to like target people. I'm just trying to have an explosion go off down the way.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, you are on the outskirts. Yes.
Okay. But desperate.
Desperate.
For great
effect.
effect.
Okay, let's
great
see how
effect.
this goes. A critical.
I haven't been really telling you the consequences for each of these, so my bad. But, you know, that would have probably resulted in you getting apprehended by the
I assumed
Silvernails.
it was real bad.
Yeah, but you hit a critical, and so you set off a small, controlled, but attention-grabbing explosion on a, sandy bluff outside the city, drawing a bunch of Silvernail mercenaries to that scene, and you were able to sneak in with your floating simian friend. And we will get back to Juliet's new friend soon, but let us go around the horn again and talk to Alden Sykes about his next downtime activity or free play activity.
Man, Alden has really been through it, huh? He became haunted after his exposure to the ghosts of his former. I love what you did, like a former lover. It seems people I've betrayed and backstabbed over the years.
Yeah.
He's got a past, but because he's dealt with that, he's now de-haunted, and he's stress-free because he took a trauma, thus clearing his stress bar.
Well, let's just be a little bit specific about all that. He took the haunted trauma, so he can still play that. You can still play that whenever you want to get XP.
I don't mean he was fully de-haunted. He just got the immediate ghosts that were attacking his mind have been exorcised for the moment, but he's still very much capital H haunted.
Yeah,
as well as being soft. So I think the two big things for Alden right now are he is disturbed by the whole Isaac situation, that he's got this hull now that he's a part owner of, feels like owning a person's soul is distasteful and horrible to him. And he would like to free this entity in whatever way that he can, to either whether it's like spirit bottle, just get it eternal rest so that both it and the sister can sleep soundly. But of course, So there's that, but also Alden has seen the immense technical acumen of Juliette Bellerose, and has seen the frighteningly superhuman strength and brutality of Valkos, and I think feels a little who has he gotten involved with, and also he's got to get on their level somewhat. So I never train, but I might train.
Oh, okay,
wow.
Great. How are you going to train? What are you going to train in?
That experience was so intense for Alden, seeing these malformed and desperate animorphs, seeing and being in close fighting with Fabio Boltzmann. He might take some time to train skirmish.
Okay.
Because that seems to be something that always tends to come in handy. This is a tough town, and though he lives by his wits, he feels that these two are going to get him into scrapes that his back's going to be up against the wall a little bit more, and he needs to be more of a threat.
Great. That is a prowess action, and the Remnant, being shadows, have an advantage to training in prowess, I believe.
Yes.
So that means you get 2 XP if you spend a downtime activity training it. Is that correct?
Yep.
That's
okay.
right.
So how are you training? Who are you going to? What are you doing?
Now, you just said that a bunch of the Beartongue Warband was slain, purging the encampment of Fabio Boltzmann. But we still have good rapport with them,
yes.
do we not?
And I can say that it wasn't a total massacre. Juliette, you did not get the impression that they all perished in that assault.
Yeah.
I think I've been around in Severos long enough to really admire the ways of so many of these folks that I've come into contact with. This is maybe not the right word for it, but the Beartongues probably practice a martial art of sorts. And I think Vea, my contact there, I would like to learn some of her ways. Ooh. And maybe I apprentice, and it's hard. It's not like going to a gym. I have to apprentice myself. I have to almost it's the cruel tutelage of Pai Mei. She's making me sleep outside. She's making me make her meals. She's making me brew her tea and then throwing it in my face because it's not right.
Well, there's a specific reason she's making you do some of that. When you find Vea, she is badly injured. And she tells you that when they went to purge the fortress of these unholy mutants, that one of their members betrayed them, opening the cages too soon. And that is why there was a horrible battle, and many members of the Beartongue Warband were slain by these mutants. That member of the Bear Tongue Warband escaped.
Now, I'm a person who tries to act as a broker, make deals, try to smooth things over, get wheels moving. Why is it that one of your number would betray you like that? What do they have to gain by freeing these creatures that Boltzmann had made through whatever alchemy of flesh he was practicing out there? Why?
I do not know. It defies reason. There was no reason to do this.
Then perhaps it was no reason. You know as well as I do that what's out there can addle your wits. And members of your warband, are their minds becoming unhinged with their time out there?
No, I can tell you. Carno was a stalwart friend, ally, and brother. I don't know what changed him. I don't know why he would have done this. And she shows you her shoulder, which has an enormous bite mark in it that goes down to the bone.
Well, I'll see if I can get you some sawbones to work at that, so that doesn't get a nasty infection. But I don't want this relationship to simply be an exchange. What you are capable of out there, it's borderline supernatural. I want to be one of your spearmen. I want you to teach me your ways. I want to be a strong right arm.
Ha! You cannot learn to be a spearman. You are not Severosi.
Then what must I do?
You will help me?
Yes. I will find ways of healing your wound.
Bring me some of that good liquor?
The stores of the Steel Hoof are at your disposal.
I can show you some spear tricks.
And that's a start.
All right. She drills you and drills you and drills you over the course of several days. The training sessions toward the end get a little hectic, and she starts yelling a lot because she gets quite drunk. And you can earn 2 prowess XP.
Awesome.
Any
Right, yeah, just
any other business with Vea before we move the camera onto another character?
Yeah, just imagine like Alden covered with like welts and things from where he's had to like wrap his arms up and like block spear blows and stuff. A lot of his time is just spent polishing the metal. It's like he's not ready to even heft it until he knows how to care for it. But it's making a dent. He's getting a little bit more sinew about him, and he still remains curious of like why would Carno turn against you? Do you have enemies that might infiltrate you?
We are the strongest, most deadly warband in all of Severos. Of course we have enemies. But I can tell you, when I looked into Carno's eyes, something had changed. Yes, right before he pulled that lever, I did not recognize him anymore.
Sounds, you and I both know what goes on out there. It was the nature of this change something that might suggest position?
I do not know. But I can tell you this. Possession or not, his torso will be pierced by my spear.
If you say it, I know that it shall be so. But words are as nothing if deeds do not back them. I've read that on your spears before.
And indeed, it is written exactly in Severosi language on the tip of her spear.
Great. And just imagine like Alden like reeling back to the steel hoof, like putting cold rags on his head after a very, very intense workout.
Excellent. And so that is a second downtime activity for you. So unless you are using some sort of special ability or spending coin, that is the end of Alden's downtime activities. And now let's turn to Valkos again. Valkos, you have indulged your vice. I believe you cleared most of your stress, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, great.
And the special ability I'm going to pick is Battleborn. You may expend your special armor to reduce harm from an attack in combat or to push yourself during a fight. And I think the way that I kind of achieved this ability is because being back in the Deathlands and feeling it's, again, feeling at home, something kind of connects with me here. And I end up taking almost like the sand of the space, and put it in a little pouch. And I know it isn't necessarily special armor, but mentally it is my sort of own little special armor that I now hold with me everywhere I go.
Excellent. Yes, and maybe when you expend your special armor, are you saying that you throw it up, or maybe
yeah,
okay, I love it. It's like a charm. That's excellent. All right, well that takes no time to upgrade, your special abilities list, and now you can tell me what downtime activity you'd like to engage in.
So I want to go meet Gramps.
He kind of acted as your vice purveyor before, but you want to just go talk to him.
Well, I think there's something, he asked, he said if I'm able to keep the silver nails away from the area, he'll teach me the ways, right? Or something. He would give me something. And I think, go on.
Well, yeah, he revealed that the current prohibition among Severosi nomads from allowing spirits to ride in your body is a newer development that actually far back in the past of Severos, they were sort of in communion with the spirits and knew how to control this process. So very much sort of what Valkos has been learning to do over the course of our entire game. And he said he could teach you more about that.
Yeah, so I want to learn more. So I think maybe my next two downtime activities are essentially working this clock of mastering or learning what Gramps is going to teach me.
A long-term project.
Yes.
Okay, great. So, so do you want to learn? How should we describe it? You're going to learn techniques to more handedly use spirits as sort of an advantage to your advantage, possessing spirits that you allowing spirits to possess you in the moment in order to gain abilities from them.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, I would actually characterize that as some training.
Okay.
In fact, and that training would be in resolve. Because resolve is what governs attune. So he can't teach you any of the big tricks until you improve your attune.
Sounds good. Great. Let's get working.
Okay, great. And you're going to use both of your downtime activities to
Absolutely.
do that, the remaining ones to do that. So, he is a ghost. So he, and remember before he said we share a soul. So, he, in this particular case goes, you come up to the hill with like the petrified, gnarled tree, and he is sitting there cross-legged, and he says, Valkos, it is good to see you again.
Yes. It's good to see you too.
You have come to learn.
I've come to open my mind further than what it was before. To, focus it.
Well then, come closer.
I kind of walk closer.
He puts his hands down and cups them. And it looks like, as a ghost, he is drawing some sort of silver fluid from the ground. Perhaps it is, some sort of ectoplasm, because he still exists on the other side of the veil in the ghost field. And he raises his hands to you and says, when you are ready, drink.
My drink.
Okay. And as you drink, you don't just drink the weird fluid in his hands, but you start to drink in his fingers. And then his wrists, and now both of his hands up to the wrists are like in your mouth. And then you start to drink in, he starts to fold, and you start to drink in his entire body. And he says, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can.
I am allowing you to retain control.
This is impossible.
No. This is the old way. I am allowing you to retain control, but in a moment, I am going to take it from you. Do not let me.
Okay. Right.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Think of something important to you. Focus on that. Do you have it?
I do.
I see a woman.
How do you see that?
I see her. She is very beautiful. But she is not Severosi. You will have to leave her eventually.
What? That's not
Are you ready?
of your concern. Yes, I am ready.
She will do for now. Focus your mind on her. Now! And he is trying to move your hand.
I'm fighting it. I'm really fighting it, but I can feel my hand moving.
Let's just see how you do. Give me a action roll, and I'm going to, in one of these very rare cases, specify that it must be a tune.
I think it is a tune. I think it has to be a tune.
Yeah.
Control, is it controlled, desperate, risky?
Yes. It's controlled for standard effect. How'd you do?
I got a 1.
You got a 1.
That's perfect.
Oh.
Perfect.
I love it.
Over and over that day, he alternately makes you hit yourself in the head with a stick, like bang, 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 bang. He makes you roll down a hill. One time he goes, "Get ready," and he makes you piss yourself.
Oh my god.
But over time, you find that you're able to get a little bit more control. And he explains that the first step is stopping him from taking control. And then later, you will be able to use his abilities.
Interesting.
But right now, you're just learning how to take a spirit on without allowing it to sort of control you.
Control me.
Yeah, so go ahead and take 2, I believe we said insight XP.
No, resolve, right?
Resolve, forgive me, resolve. Because resolve governs attune.
Yeah.
Nice.
And keep in mind, I'm not, let's play according to the rules. So if you fill up this tracker and you want to put it into something other than attune, you can. Because this would help command as well, for example, this sort of exercise. And so you guys do that over the course of several days.
Brilliant.
All right, great. So having seen Valkos training and having completed Valkos downtime activities, let us turn to Juliette Belrose, who hasn't taken an actual downtime activity yet.
Yeah, well, I know what I'm doing. Meanwhile, you guys are out training. I'm going to be experimenting. Yeah, I know. I would like...
forgive me, Juliette. 2 things that I forgot to do. Actually, you know what we'll do? We'll take a break. I will set us up to do those 2 things, which is to set Valkos's long-term activity clock. Oh no, we turned it into training. Good God, let's take a break so I can get my shit together.
All right.
And also we need to do crew XP. I haven't forgotten, listeners. I know I'm good at GMing this. We'll be back right after this break. We are back, and I haven't forgotten crew XP. I forgot it earlier, but I haven't. I remember now that we have to do it. But I think we'll go ahead and we'll do Juliette's next downtime activity before we do that. So, Juliette, you were going to do some experimenting, you said. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I would love to start a long-term project here.
Okay, and what is the long-term project?
We've had pretty extensive long-term projects in the past. I mean, hell, Ekphilia tried to orchestrate an entire murder of my characters. So could it be that I am trying to find out everything about this affliction or whatever has been injected into this creature? Humanoid?
Yeah, sure. What is his name?
Well, I could ask, but I'm going to call him Una.
Una?
Mm-hmm.
Una. Ah. Yes, I like it.
What? Oh my God, he speaks?
Yes.
I did not realize that you could... Are you in control?
Control? Ah. And he's going through stuff on your workshop table and looking at it and
Please do not break anything. It is very special to me.
He takes the little gear that he's holding, the little gear apparatus, and he puts it down gently and goes, "Yes, I am in control."
Do you wish to remain like this? Do you remember who you were before?
Who I was before? No. And he climbs up onto a high shelf in your workshop.
I would like to help you remember. It will make you more powerful.
Are you going to make me float again?
Not unless you want to.
I want more of the powder.
This I can do.
He climbs down from the shelf and Now, powder.
But you must promise me that you will stay here. Stay within this room, and I will give you all the powder that you want.
Yes, I will stay here. Powder.
Okay. I'll give him some trance powder.
How much do you give him?
A ton.
A ton?
I'll give him enough that he's like...
This is what he does. And then he goes...
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm about to do some ethically questionable things.
Wow. We have met the Fabio Boltzmann, and it is us.
Anyway, yeah, I am going to have to get some sort of something that will keep him in place here as well. Like, his word is one thing, but I would like to have some sort of way to... Because this is a lab or a workshop that has been provided to us within the Steel Hoof. Is that correct? Like some...
Yeah, it's probably in the basement of the Steel Hoof, or it's an adjoining building. Which is it, Alden? It's your bar.
Yeah, I think there was there's like a portion of this that is like has like a moonshine still, and was just like an outbuilding, out back, and where we're distilling some very potent spirits from cereal grains that you can smuggle in from the Deathlands, and like I've already got some alembics and flasks and things, if that's your purview. Don't upset anything too much. I'm still actively distilling some of this. Would you like some grass whiskey?
Not I do not partake.
Well, more for me then.
So you're trying to figure out a way to keep
This is what I'm gonna do.
Una here?
Yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get my own cage.
Oh my god.
That he is going to stay in, and it will be covered with a blanket, and I will keep a steady supply of trance powder in Una so that he is in a blissful, drugged out state within this cage.
Okay. You quickly realize there is no need of a cage. That if you supply Una with trance powder, he never goes anywhere. And so, one day, but you know what? You just leave the door open and he goes in and sleeps in there. No problem.
Yeah. Or, it's not closed. It's more just put the blanket being over it more to avoid other inquiring minds from perhaps seeing it right away. Yeah, the door can be open. That's fine. It's just the transfer. And so the long-term project, I would like to, by the end of it, essentially be able to, one, have an antidote, but two, also be able to have what causes it.
Okay, great. Let's see.
So like a full understanding of
understanding of what causes it and an antidote. All right, I think that's a great project. Let's see. I think that what you want is a clock with... Well, this was Fabio Bolton's lifetime project, is this sort of process.
Yeah, but he's already figured it out for me. I have specimens to study, whereas he had to do it from scratch, right?
That's a very good point. I'm going to make it an 8-segment
Yeah, that's
clock.
fair.
An 8-segment clock, and it's going to be called transformation process. Let's just call it that.
Okay. Yeah. Great. And so now I'll roll. How about we roll survey first? Because the first thing I'm doing is going to be lots of observation, I think.
That makes total sense. Yeah, let's do that.
A 6.
Wow.
The dice are on my
6.
side for this
That's-
evil shit.
Amazing.
Jeez.
That means 3 segments.
Whoa.
Really good. And yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and for the second downtime, since you guys have already done 2, yeah?
That's right.
Well, yeah.
For the second downtime, I'd like to do another long-term project while I'm in the lab.
A different one?
A different one.
Oh, interesting. Okay, what will that be?
That is to get back down into writing the formula for a new fuel source that Juliet had worked on and discovered in the past.
Wow. Okay. All right. For that, let's see. In the past, you'd worked on it quite a bit, so you'd have some memory of it. So I'm only going to make it a... Let's see. How much is this clock? 1, 2, 3, 4. A 10-segment clock.
Okay.
Okay.
10 segments. This is harder than the study. Yeah. No, I'll take it.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Are you kidding? I mean, the Sparkwrights have been working on this for forever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is definitely very different. Okay.
I mean, I did discover it at one point. Yes. No, I'll take 10. 10 makes sense.
Recovering all of that research was, it was never done exactly. The Sparkwrights retained it. And on top of that, you're not in Duskvol where the Sparkwrights have all their equipment or where, okay. So, but you can begin to work on that. What action are you going to use to start that long-term project?
Let's do Tinker, because I think I am recreating tiny little electric barriers and like small, almost like mech size in my little workshop. And so there's like these little rods, lightning towers. So I can start studying a little more.
Great.
All right. Another 6, baby.
Oh my
Jesus.
gosh. 3 segments. Really well done.
Oh, man.
Yes, I'm fueled by science.
You're genuinely like in your element.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me tell
She
you.
was working in the lab. Late one.
So let me tell you just what you learned from that period of work, okay?
Okay.
When it comes to the transformation process, you realize that your friend Una is a human that has been merged with a spirit, but in a way you're not used to seeing, because generally your ghost mind would allow you to see a possessing spirit sort of sitting and almost separate but inside of its host. In this particular case, the spirit seems really dispersed throughout the body, so that it doesn't feel like it is a separate entity inside. It feels like it's like more of like an energy running through the creature's veins. What you're not sure of is whether you are looking at a creature similar to Ekphelia, because Ekphelia had similar characteristics when it came to looking at them with a ghost mind. This creature is not acting quite the same as Ekphelia acted, and you're not quite sure how Boltzmann was able to merge body and spirit so seamlessly. For your alternate fuel source, all you have done so far is gather equipment. You've gathered machinery, equipment, chemicals to get started. That was 3 segments just to do that.
Yep. Great.
Okay. And that, if I'm not mistaken, is everyone's downtime activities. Is that right?
It is.
Well, you're still short of the coin you'd need to not die in squalor. So, free play, you need to look for another job.
What
can
about crew
also-
XP?
Oh, yeah.
I was really trying to never do that. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Abu, for reminding me. Here we go.
Anytime.
Crew XP. Here are our shadows, the Remnant.
Oh,
And let's look at what they've done. So, At the end of each session, did you execute a successful burglary, espionage, robbery, or sabotage operation?
I mean, what is a kidnapping?
A kidnapping is not one of those things. In fact, I think the assassin crew template gives you XP for kidnapping.
Interesting. Okay. So then I guess we...
I mean, it could be argued that while the kidnapping was the culmination of that score, it was espionage.
Because you infiltrated in as a way in for us to break in. So technically, I would say I think you're right. I think it was technically a part of an espionage mission.
Espionage would generally be spying to gain information. And that is not exactly what you did at all.
No.
What is kidnapping if not burglary of a person?
Right.
That's a good point. Although I would say a burglar and a kidnapper would argue that that they have very different jobs.
And did we not sabotage Boltzmann's entire operation?
Right, so just because you destroy something doesn't mean you've sabotaged it. Espionage, I'm literally looking at the definition. It says the practice of spying or using spies, typically by governments, to obtain political and military information.
God
You didn't do that. I don't think that you have
didn't do it.
Okay. Sorry, I have to be the bad guy.
It's very good. No, it's very good. It's very thorough.
Okay.
We have to advocate for ourselves
course
and
you
understand this.
Did you contend with challenges above your current station?
Yes.
You did. They were above you. I'm gonna add the XP here. Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one? You certainly did, because you chose to ally yourselves with the Bear Tongue Warband and you gained status with them. So you get a point for that. Did you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of your crew? Well, I would say, I don't know. What's your argument for that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like as our crew today, what are our goals, drives, or what is the essential nature of our crew now?
Yeah, it's kind of shifted, huh?
The Remnant is in a rebuilding phase.
You still have a reputation, which is strange.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think there's something. I think we've evolved past that reputation. I feel like
interesting.
I feel like we're.
Well, didn't Alden get an impression of us in the fields?
What did you get, Alden?
Right. Hold on. What's the? Where are the? Is there a list of
reputations?
These attributes? You have reputations?
Yeah, there certainly is. Let me find it. There's a list.
I mean, because Alden definitely got a read on you. We've been a cohort.
I love how
for a long time, but this is the first time we were a crew.
Here are the reputations. Okay, ambitious, brutal, daring, honorable, professional, savvy, subtle, and strange.
I think we're daring.
Yeah.
I think because
this is a group that goes up against odd and powerful forces and contends with them confidently, recklessly, but gets the damn job done. Damn it.
Yeah.
I don't like their methods, but they get results.
Yeah, I mean, you seem to describe it that way too when you were describing Valkos and Juliet. So it does seem fitting.
And I think
yeah. Who have I gotten myself wrapped up with? Yes, these people are not just strange. Oh, don't get me wrong. They're strange. But they are dangerous people to know.
Great.
And I think, yes, we did. And I think, this is my argument for it, right? We went in with the intention of getting money for, our ascent, to retire happily, right? However, rather than necessarily, again, go for the sort of obvious route of giving them into the higher authorities, we gave them to, again, very, very sort of, we formed alliances with people who will essentially, hopefully, give us more money in the long term. So, yes, that was our goal. Our goal was to get money, right? And we made that very clear. But we've now formed a relationship, an ally, who will essentially, hopefully, find us better jobs to get more money. So I'd say that goal was there, or that drive was there, and that's why we should get the XP for it. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was between before that reason too. It's like daring or ambitious. Like I thought those two are both like very. But I think that's and we're in a new city, so this is like perfect for a new reputation to sort of form. Since
okay,
yeah.
Well, I you know what? I'm giving it to you. I'm gonna give it to you just because I loved all of the like changing your reputation, talking about it, thinking about it, and in the future as you conduct your jobs. Your scores, definitely try to be daring because that's going to fill up more of your XP tracker. Okay. And that, bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. That was the thing I gave. I gave.
Yeah, you've already given us one for that.
I've already given you one for that, but I'm going to give you express the goals, drives, inner conflict. Yeah. I'm going to give that to you as well because I like all the talk about how you're developing a new reputation. So that is done. That is crew XP. We finally got that done. We finished all of our downtime activities. So it's time to find the next score. What will it be?
I think logically, Juliet's been like locked away in the workshop most of the time. So I don't think she's out and about looking in the way she should be.
If anybody wants a refresher on sort of things that are happening out there in the world, I can give it to you, or maybe you've thought of it on your own, Juliet.
The Jade Paw, right? There's nobles that arrived on a ship asking for us at the Jade Paw.
That's correct.
Right? That seems problematic. And otherwise it would just be if you share, about trying to keep the silver nails off your friend's back, but I don't know if that's a full-on
Yeah, I think for me, I think what I would have done, or what Valkos would have done to find some information of these nobles, is, I mean, I would have asked. I want to know who they are, right? So I would have. The same. It was a lady who told us that about the information about the nobles, right? About told Alden.
Keela was her name.
Yeah, was it Alden? Told Alden, essentially.
Told all three of you, really.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna go pay her a visit, and I'm gonna figure out like who these, trying to find out where they are or where they're situated, with the intention of getting some form of finance out of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Juliet's almost like if you start like coming back, I feel like there's a point where you probably are curious as to what she's doing. She's like, I need you to go find out who is asking about us. We have to know. That is the top priority. Almost like redirecting you out.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. But later we'll go for it.
Yes.
You didn't even let me finish what I was going to say, because I could have said anything.
I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
Never mind. I'll find something out, and yeah. Are you okay?
Yes, I just have a lot of ideas. You see,
more powder!
What the fuck is that?
I'm working on something.
Clang, crash, bang, crash.
I have to go. I have to go.
And I kind of hold, like, I sort of firmly grasp your shoulder. I'm like, listen, I trust you. I'm not going to ask, nor am I going to pry, but next time, when we have more time, just please be honest. Tell me what's going on. That way I can help you if you need it. I can't let go. I'll go and find out some more information.
Thank you.
I kind of leave. Unsettled.
How do you find Keela? You don't know exactly where she hangs out in Irondale.
Well, surely Alden would know, or someone. Maybe I ask Vea.
Vea, okay. Vea says that she is a sister, but she does not run with a band. She is city folk. The other warriors will not accept her because she is not full Severosi. You can find her in city center. Keep a close eye out for her. She moves quickly and sticks to the shadows.
Huh. Thank you. And I'm gonna go and hunt for her.
Ah, very good.
Ooh.
Because you got a little information from Vea, we'll make this controlled for standard effect, and I think that you can roll an extra die because you have the right sector of the city to look in.
Okay.
And the city center isn't huge.
Okay. A 6.
Okay.
Yes, the
So-
dice today.
My man.
So the city center is the part of Irondale that is surrounded by lightning barriers. And you've been here a while, so I assume you have some method of getting in and out of it, although some people are not allowed in. And actually, you are really kind of questioned and sort of, you know, the guards don't want to let you in. And these are Imperial military. You're no longer dealing with Severosi Silvernails or anything like that. But they eventually let you in, even though you're Severos. And when you get inside, you see that this area surrounded by lightning barriers is way more Akarosi in its architecture, in the fact that the streets are now cobblestone, whereas outside the city center, they are kind of dirt. And when it rains, they get really muddy. The outside of the city center is kind of like a Wild West town, but inside the city center, it feels way more like Victorian America, right? It feels like Boston, you know, in the year 1799 or something like that. So you see a lot of Akarosi colonial businessmen moving about, and your 6 shows you a hand reaching into one of their pockets, pulling out a watch, and you recognize the hand. It belongs to Keela.
I kind of I'll watch her for a second as she does this, and then I'll stalk her.
She takes off down the street in the opposite direction. She just pulled this watch out of an older gentleman's greatcoat, and you see her kind of like almost instinctively, without having to think about it, evade the lamplights that keep this portion of the city illuminated. Because as we remember, it's always dark, not just in Duskvol, but also in Irondale. So she is able to kind of stick close to the wall, and then when she's coming to another light, she, without thinking, moves around the spot left by that light.
Okay.
And that is how she sort of evades any kind of detection.
Okay. I am going to then. I mean, I'm gonna stay with her. So, and then as I'm gonna get closer to her, close enough to sort of, you know, again grab her and say, "I wonder how much that watch costs."
Valkos, right?
Yes.
I think my fence will give me a good price for it.
Shall we go visit them?
Introduce you to my fence?
Yeah, why not? We can walk and talk. And I kind of put my arm around her and sort of start walking with her.
These sorts of introductions are not free. There are not a lot of fences in Irondale.
No, I'm sure, but...
It is not Duskvol, where you hit a trash can and 4 criminals fall out, you know?
Yes, and I'm going to use my finesse to pocket the watch that she has and say, how about I give you back the watch? If I'm successful, obviously. As a way of sort of being like, that's my price. That's the price to pay.
Okay. Give me a finesse, and I think that she is equal with you. So this will be risky for standard effect, and the consequence if you fail is that you will perhaps lose the ability to get more information out of her. She's going to distrust you and try to move away from you.
Okay, here we go.
Oh!
What? Oh, a failure.
3 and a 1 and a 1.
Oh.
But hold on, wait. Oh no, it's too late. It's fine.
You try to pull the. She's thrown the watch. You know, she usually wears like a leather kind of very little clothing, and she has actually shoved the watch into this pouch that dangles from her hip, and you try to reach down and pull out the watch, and you suddenly feel like, because you're focused on it for a second, and you suddenly feel like the pouch kind of like go loose in your hand, and you realize that she has untied it and moved way down the street, and you open it and there's no watch inside.
And I kind of, I'm like, wait, fine, we'll do this the typical way. I'll pay you gold.
She's moved way far away from you now. You've got to catch her.
Okay, I'm gonna go catch her.
Okay, what's your action roll to do that? Prowl, that makes sense. Okay, give me a prowl roll, and now that you see how slippery Keela is, your prowl requires a, let's call this risky for standard effect, and if you fail this prowl, she escapes.
6.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
You have to really, you have to sprint, but eventually the musculature of Valkos prevails, and you fairly almost tackle her.
Okay.
What do you want? I gave you information. It was a fair exchange. You come to take your money back from me?
No, I
will ruin your reputation in this town, man.
And then suddenly, a knife flicks from my wrist.
Ah, hey! What, you cut me now, man? You cut me? I told you what I know, man!
Suddenly,
fair! It was fair and square, man!
Blade slowly by the lip. On the corner of the lip.
I don't want to, May Alden be in this?
Absolutely.
Great.
I'm literally, I'm there, the blade is by the lip, and I'm like, I'm a changed man. I'm a changed man. I'm a changed...
And then you just hear a voice like, now? And maybe coming into the lamplight, like fanning himself with a paper fan. So hot. Don't you find that it's much hotter in city centre? Too many eyes around. Too much light. My friend, Valkos has particular ways of being persuasive, Keela. Surely we can come to a more reasonable accord. It was you who told us that the nobles that were looking for these two were around. So, let's have a reasonable exchange between adults so that no blood has to be shed.
You want more information? You pay more coin. Get your knife out of my face, man.
I take the knife away, but I hold her still.
You understand, Keela, that some people, here gesturing toward Valkos, have been so wounded by the past, have seen and done so much, that they, there's only certain languages that really get through to them, and those are the languages in which they speak. But those of us with a more level head, I think, can come to a more reasonable accord.
Yes. I speak the language of money. We can come to an accord of 1 coin, and I give you more information. Because guess what, Alden? I have more information. I've learned more since last we saw each other. You want to find this ship? It's not docked right here at the city. It's up the coast.
Great. Okay. Well, she told us, but there's, I assume.
Yeah, you can point that out to her.
That's the information you've got. Well, then, Mr. Valkos, I suppose our work here is done.
Wait, no, it's in a
point.
You're not going to find it that easy. You need me to take you there.
It's a peculiar bargaining position to come from, Keela, to just tell us what we want to know and then tell us that we need to pay you for it.
I kind of look at her and then my hand sort of taps her slightly on the cheek, like, well done.
I hope you guys get humped by horses, man.
Then I will try to do my...
I hope you get screwed by goats, man.
Seems to me that you wouldn't have to go lurking around, so desperate to make your way, solitary, alone. Where every friend here in Irondale is only a friend that you're connected to with cables of gold. What if you knew somebody who's associated with the band that you used to be associated with, who could put in a good word for you with the bare tongues? See, not everything comes down to coin, Keela. Surely there could be a favour that could be done for you. And then you do a favour for us. This is not what employers, freelancers, freebooters do. This is what friends do. I'd like to be your friend.
No chance, man. You guys smell, man. No chance.
Okay, cool.
Listen, stay away from me from now on. Knives in my face? No way. I'm not telling you anything anymore. Huh? Shit.
How about we offer you a small percentage of the take that we get when we rob this ship?
Okay, so I can help you. Because I know how to get on these ships, okay? It's something, my father did it, my mother did it. It's not hard, okay? But you need my expertise to do this. How much is the take, by the way, do you think?
Wow.
It's a small ship. It's a smaller ship. Yeah, I can help you with this. Yeah?
What say you, Alden? I mean, obviously, here with Keela, friendship must be bought.
Yeah. I know what friendships that are bought are worth. And all in here's wheels are turning, and it's like, we were gathering information because these people were a threat to you. Now suddenly you're talking about robbing the ship.
Yeah.
So yeah, daring indeed. Daring indeed. But we know that these are immensely wealthy prizes, and they'd have a lot on board to...
We can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That's the saying, yes.
Yes, 2 birds, 1 stone. Since it seems as though you will not be a friend, but rather a business partner. You are the stone. Let us kill 2 birds. You shall tell us how we can get aboard, and you shall receive payment in kind when we receive the take. I can only imagine that such a golden prize is a noble's hunting ship. We should be able to fetch, 8 coin and get you a cut?
Yeah, I can help you. Yeah, you need me. Yeah.
By the way, I also, I have the special ability, like looking into a mirror. I can always tell when someone is lying to me. Does Keela actually know how to get aboard the ship? Does she know? Okay. 8 coin. Yes, I do think that might be the way to go about it. Great. So then is the question, like, how do we turn that information to our advantage? So we've gotten the information that we're going to get out of it.
Well, I mean, we
Shit,
could,
shit. And Imperial military are suddenly moving down this alley. They are not coming, but you quickly ascertain that they are not coming to apprehend or attack, or they're not paying attention to you. They are merely shouting up at the windows where, there are people kind of like, throwing out their offal, beating out their rugs and things like that. They're shouting, "Lockdown! Lockdown!" And people are people are shutting their windows and going back inside.
Well, we should go in or leave.
Yeah.
Is the steel hoof inside the city center or outside? Outside.
Sounds like it's outside.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think. Let's make ourselves scarce.
Are you bringing Keela with you?
Absolutely.
Keela would follow anyway now. 8 coin?
Like friends do.
Okay, so you see that there is a lot of military activity even outside the city center right now. A lot of military kind of like busy, like running about and things like that.
As though they Can I talk to one of the military garrison?
Yeah, maybe.
Once you're outside the center?
Because
there are military personnel outside the center. They're in their gleaming armor with the symbol of the Empire on their lapel.
As we pass through,
One is overseeing the loading of boxes onto a wagon. Not that high ranking, as you might imagine.
Right.
A sergeant of some sort.
Beehive of activity. They've got you working late hours.
Yes, I'd say we're going to be working lots of late hours now.
Dare say you will. With the great ship that's just come ashore, I can't imagine the swells.
There's a ship ashore?
Okay. Well, that's just what I've heard.
Where?
North of Irondale, north of the city, on the coast, I dare say.
Mulligan, here!
Oh my god.
Go and fetch the lieutenant right away. You, sir, go nowhere. What kind of ship are we talking?
Was she lying about the presence of a ship?
What's that? What?
She was
not lying about
the
that.
presence of a
ship.
ship?
She was not lying about that.
Right. Okay. Interesting. I mean, I'm not gonna fucking get away from the cops. Great. Okay. I allow myself to be taken into custody.
Well,
I
he's
guess.
not taking you into custody.
Or
He's
spoken
just
to.
saying you don't go anywhere.
Very well.
Tell me about this ship, sir.
Well, I can only tell you what I've heard. Streets talk. Tongues wag. Walls have ears and all that.
Soon, a young man with sort of the peach fuzz beginnings of a goatee and a lot of epaulettes and various symbols of office comes marching up and says, "Sergeant." So, I am to take it we have an information source here. Something about a ship.
I scarcely thought it would be so distressing to you. I would have thought that the Imperial military would know all the comings and goings from our fair city. Those by water, most of all.
We, are you aware of the situation we're in right now?
I like to keep my ear open as much as the next man, but I can't help but notice that the patrols on the streets have grown a little bit more
There's
bellicose
been an
of
attempted
late.
coup in Duskvol.
Really?
The nobility are at war with the Ministry of Preservation.
You don't say. Well, I suppose what side is the colonial government
What is
taking?
your name, sir?
Alden Sykes, local business
Check the
owner.
lists, Sergeant. Check the lists.
I give him the card.
He's checking the lists. And have you ever been or are you currently affiliated with any of the noble houses of the Leviathan Hunters?
I think you'd have only to look at my attire to know that if I was a member of such a house, then I must be from one of its very lapsed branches. And though, indeed, my business card says that I'm the owner of a entertainment establishment, I must confess that my occupation is drunkard.
Tell me about this ship. Where is it?
Did Keela give us any information
Keela
regarding
walks
its
up.
precise
I can
whereabouts?
tell you where this ship is.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Are you both still there? Is Valkos there?
Yep.
That's great.
Is this an associate of yours?
An associate? Well, that is an interesting choice of words. We have not agreed to do business. And this is someone that I could not describe as a friend, could I?
Madam, he said this to Keela. You can take us to this ship? Absolutely, I can take you there now. But it would cost... And he's like, take her into custody. And they grab her. And he's like, you will show us where this ship is. Bring her in and... Mr. Sykes, you should come with us as well.
Certainly. Suppose this is to neutralize a threat. The coup that the nobles are plotting here. Then we, good citizens of Irondale as we are, must band together. Now, humble proprietor of an alehouse that I am, I have certain associates of mine associated with the business that I wouldn't mind bringing along as well. If that's in the offing.
Associates, you say?
Yes, who also know the ins and outs of this travel well outside the boundaries of our fair city. I don't know if you've travelled in the Deathlands, Captain, was it?
Lieutenant. Yes, gather your associates and report back to the office at Dreary Street.
Very well. I'll bring people who know the Deathlands like the
I'll
back of
send
their
these
hands.
officers with you to make sure that you are able to make your preparations with alacrity. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir.
And so, two officers accompany you to the Steel Hoof to retrieve Juliet.
And on the way to the when we reach the Steel Hoof, I'm like, do you want a drink? No, to the officers.
Ah, yes.
Wouldn't be right, sir. We're on duty right now.
Nah, you
Not
can.
supposed to let you get us drunk or,
I'm not
you know.
aiming to get you drunk. I'm simply being a nice host.
Well, hell, it couldn't hurt to have a little nip, right?
Oh, come. It could hurt. And I think you'd only want to do it if, you felt as though you had the constitution to withstand what we brew up at the Silver
Yes,
Booth.
I remember. Yeah, not many people can handle what you make, Holden.
Can I
You would be surprised what I can handle, sir. Put it in front of me. And Hill is like, I don't know. We're supposed to get him back.
We'll come back with you. I mean, it's just a drink.
Very good. Just remember that Keela is with the Imperial military.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to go down to where Juliet is and sort of give her the heads up while I'm collecting this moonshine. At the same time, I'm like, in my head, well, before I've left, I've been like, Alden, maybe find out bit more as to where our alliance is.
Yes, I suppose I will. You never know what loose tongues will say when they're consorting with one another. I clink 2 bottles together and walk out to the officers.
But Jiz, what? There are Imperial officers here?
Imperial officers come and go.
They're looking for us. They're going to go to the boat where they are looking for us specifically. And Kila, who is bought by money, is
I totally understand.
She's alive. This is why I said we should kill her. I said.
And I was going to, but Alden stopped me. The point is that I feel like this could be an opportunity. Yes, I know it's maybe one that we're forced down, but it can be an opportunity. We can turn this in our favor. We have an army behind us. They can help us get on the boat, find out information of what we need. They can distract, we can look, we can search.
Okay. I trust you.
Kind of take the moonshine. I'm like, have you tried any of this drink yet?
No, I'm a bit wary. I like to have my faculties about me when I'm working. And I go and slip like some extra, like a bag of trance powder under a blanket real quick, and I walk back out with you.
Right.
Very good. Is everybody willingly going to the Imperial military office?
Absolutely. After, we've plied these people with drinks, I would imagine, and tried to get as much information out of them as possible.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you get there, there is someone that the lieutenant you were talking to earlier is deferring to, some sort of captain. And he has laid out a bunch of maps of Severos, and Keela is pointing to a spot on the map. And he says, welcome. I understand that you were the party that was informed of this landfall. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, I don't know that I'd wear the badge of informer too proudly, but I feel as though those in a position to aid our fair city should know the things that put it into peril.
We haven't had a boat from Duskvol in 3 days. That in itself was strange, and we wondered what the reason might be. We were also unable to raise them on the telegraph. We were not sure whether it was some sort of technical difficulty or something more serious. Recently, it appears that the ministry has retaken the telegraph from the noble houses, and from them we have learned that there has been a coup. No ship has come into the official harbor of Irondale. Therefore, this ship you mention is of great concern. And so, I'd like to know if you can help us find it, investigate it, and if necessary, apprehend any nobles on board. And that's where we'll stop for today.
Always willing to do my part for the ministry.
And we will all do our part when we come back next time. This has been Haunted City. Ross Bryant, Josephine McAdam, Salim. I'm Jared Logan. Thank you, John Harper. Good night.